Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, we keep talking about dynamic basics, and we talk about the difference between an expander and a gate. In a previous video, we talked about the channel strip plugin from Presonus, which has both a compressor and an expander built in. Now we're going to talk about the expander and gates that come with the Pro and Artist version. We'll also talk about the difference between an expander and a gate. They work in similar ways, but have different functionalities and different uses. Let's first talk about the expander. It has very similar controls like a compressor, such as threshold, attack, and release. It also has a sidechain filter, so you can really narrow down what the expander is listening to. It also has a ratio, but works in an opposite form. For every 1 dB below the threshold, you'll get 2 dBs of reduction according to the range. The range is the total dB reduction you'll have of your source signal. I'm on my drum bus, and I'm going to engage the expander. You can see immediately, because nothing is playing, our expander is reducing the output by 18 dB. It thinks that the source signal is below our threshold. If we hit play, you can see it reacting to the source signal. Anything that's over our threshold is allowed to pass through, and as it begins to go under the threshold, according to our attack and release time, the expander will start to put those quieter parts further from the louder parts. If we go extreme with the range and the ratio, you'll really hear what I'm talking about. It's barely letting the transients through and pushing everything way down. This is almost working like a gate would because our range is so low. If we bring this back up, you'll hear it'll just cause a minor variation, but it will be a little crazy with our ratio. It almost sounds like a double hit because you can still hear the bleed. The bleed is just getting reduced by 9 dB. Just like on our compressor, our attack and release time tell our expander how quickly to apply the reduction to the softer parts of our sound. But what's the difference between an expander and a gate? Here's the gate that comes with Studio One, Artist, and Pro. Again, you'll see a lot of similar controls. We see that our range is here, attack and release times, and now a hold control. The hold is the time difference between the attack and release. The attack is how quickly the gate will open, and the release is how quickly it will close. The hold will add time before the release of the gate happens. Let me show you what I mean. With an extreme setting, the gate isn't even allowed to close because the hold is so long. If we reduce this all the way down, there's hardly any time between when the attack is done and the release begins. With our gate, there's an open threshold and a closed threshold. The open threshold works nearly the same way as the expander's threshold. But on a gate, you can adjust the closed threshold to adjust the relativity to the open threshold, thereby adjusting the dynamic range of the source audio through the gate. Another very useful feature of the gate is this section here, the trigger section. With this active, you can send a MIDI note and a velocity value out from the gate to trigger impact or any drum sequencer you may have. This will allow you to use that drum sequencer to add samples and beef up your sound. That's all for now. If you found anything in this video informative, please like and share the video. Or if you have a question, leave a comment and we'll make it into a future video. Thanks for watching.